Hi everyone, this is Lee McMahon with the Daily Moving Average video. It's Friday, August 30th, just about 2 hours and 45 minutes before the close of the U.S. equity markets. So we are starting to get into the last bit of trading for August. I'm going to run through a bunch of pairs to show you what we're looking at for next week. Very, very busy, very, very important week next week. So lots and lots and lots to prepare for. So it should be hopefully a very interesting September. So please take a moment to pause the recording, read the risk disclaimer, which should now be on your screen, and then we'll get started. Okay. Alright, so, wow. Sorry, just got dollar yen, pretty active here in the late in the session. Interesting. Anyway, it's a longer term view of dollar yen. It's been a longer term view of dollar yen for a very long time. This upper trend line continues to hold. These lower trend lines also continue to hold. Very clear battle lines here. Eventually we're going to get one heck of a breakout out of this pair, but right now has not really materialized. Hourly chart, though, does starting to suggest that we may see a break higher. Very potential for a very clear hourly bull flag here. Need to clear basically 98.38, and then the measured move would take us well above this descending trend line. Moving averages on the hourly are bullish now, right? 50, 100, 200. You can see that the bottom of the flag has been pretty well defined by these moving averages. Bounced off of one earlier, just a couple minutes ago, starting to rally pretty extensively. 4-hour moving averages, all right, remain bearish, though somewhat mixed. You can see it's the 200 is above the 50 and 100, but they're trading basically at the same level. So we could start to see some crossovers here on the 4-hour chart as well. And then daily moving averages, all right, remain bullish, have been forever. We're starting to see a tip downward here in the 50 and 100, but the 200 remains pretty well defined to the upside. So watching for a break in that range of dollar yen. Euro yen. Okay, this is the daily chart of Euro Yen, well supported here by the 100-day EMA. You can see two tests here. All right, we're also testing that trend line again to the upside. There you go. Another basically triangle, another breakout potential here in the yen pair. Should we see a move lower? All right, I'd like to buy a retest. On the other hand, I would also be willing to buy a break higher. I have no real objections to trading these yen pairs in either direction. I just need them to break so I have a direction to trade. Whichever way they go, it should be a very powerful move. Again, 128.55 is the 100-day EMA. It's pretty close to that trend line support, so that is a huge level for Euro Yen. Then on the upside, it's about 132. That's the major resistance, above 132, and it really does open up a move to 138 at least. So definitely some serious potential on Euro Yen. Euro dollar, let's go to a 4-hour chart. Okay, Euro dollar dropped very nicely these past 2 days, closing below all the key moving averages. Dove right into this horizontal support level. We've held that level here today. Very possible scenario on Euro dollar here. All right, would be a rally off of these to retest and then lower. Certainly that is a possibility. Though on the other hand, I mean, the euro has been fairly choppy lately. It wouldn't surprise me to see that this horizontal level hold and we move back up towards the 134 range, that next sort of top of the horizontal channel that we've been trading in. So that's kind of depends how you want to play euro dollar. You can play it as a 200 pip horizontal range, or you can play it as that trend line break and short it off of there. We'll see how it plays out going forward. Major European news next week, ECB rate decision on Thursday. So the commentary there will be very important for the euro. Pound dollar, we also have the Bank of England next week. All right, so another important one. Pound dollar, all right, we're still retesting this trend line. We haven't managed to rally enough off of it yet to really start breaking bearish sentiment, but you know, we're trying. You can see we just fell short of testing this 50% fib. All right, we're sitting on the 200 period EMA here on the 4-hour chart. Some significant moving average support there as well. It helped us here on this Carney speech dip down. I remain tentatively bullish pound dollar. It's just a question of finding the moment when it actually starts to rally. It's been chopping around a lot, hasn't quite managed to spark itself higher, but I do expect that to happen sooner rather than later. Pound Swiss is another one to keep in mind. So we broke above here. We retested on a very deep rundown on that Carney speech. We've rallied from there, looking for some form of consolidation or retracement, perhaps to get long. All right, you can see this longer term trend line remains as resistance, the 200-day EMA 144.91. All right, that is a significant level to keep your eye on as well. So above 145 opens up a lot more upside on pound Swiss. Aussie dollar, all right, I like Aussie dollar to the upside for a couple reasons. I don't like it necessarily here, but I think longer term that the upside potential is a lot greater for, that's medium term, maybe for the next like month and a half. Some significant Aussie data next week. We'll talk about that in a second. Descending wedge here, all right, on the hourly. This 88.75 would be a nice area to try to take a quick long for a move back up above out of this wedge. Top of the wedge, well capped by the 100-hour EMA at 89.53. Some nice confluence there if we manage to break higher. Could start a squeeze to the upside. 4-hour chart. Okay, and on that squeeze to the upside, all right, the first major level that we would be testing would be this 200 period EMA at 90.89. Then we have this trend line resistance at about 91.40, and then 93. All right, this horizontal level here. Very sloppy inverse head and shoulders potential. All right, going on with Aussie dollar. Potential necklines. First one's in yellow, second one's in red. If we do get above 93, does target 97. So we could see a fairly significant squeeze higher. Retail traders very heavily long Aussie dollar, which is usually a bearish indication, but occasionally retail traders are good at calling reversals. So if we see reversals start here, it's definitely something to sort of keep your eye out for. Kiwi dollar, all right, 77. Might be worth a punt long. All right, next week if we dip down there, we're at 77.30 right now. I wouldn't try it this week necessarily because we're pretty much done with this week. Next week, if you want to take a stab at 77, it's hard to gainsay you there. You'd have about a 45 pip stop, and your targets would be about 81. So that's definitely a level to keep your eye on next week. Again, possible reversal in the commodity currencies. Euro Aussie. All right, possible reversal in the commodity currencies. Another head and shoulder forming here. Left head, now we got to put in a right. We could see a breakdown. Below 144 is necessary to really get going. 146 is the 200 period EMA. Last but not least, EMini futures. Testing trend line support. Let's go to the daily. Trend line and 100-hour EMA. All right, major support level. Still, same thing. I'm still looking for a bounce off of these levels, and I'm still looking for an eventual reversal at 1675 for a larger breakdown to about 1525, and then longs from there. So let's see if we can hold this trend line. Daily close below that trend line, we'd really open up and move down to 1573, the 200-day EMA. All right, I hope that's helpful. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.